YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you, and today I think we're gonna do a rack of pork. So this is known as a pork loin. So your baby back ribs, aka loin back ribs, this is where they come from. Now this has been sitting in my fridge. I got this from my local grocery store. This is a 3.54 pound rack. Can you see that? Looks pretty good. I liked it because the amount of intramuscular marbling and fat it had in there. So I like what this is looking like so far. Here's what we're gonna do. Like majority of it to stay on, right? Keep it real simple. Then tomorrow I'll hit it with a little bit more flavor, but for the most part, real easy cook. We will be smoking this on my smoker. I'm going to probably use post oak, maybe a little apple. I think I have a little bit left. Apple and pork goes phenomenally. Keeping this real simple. Not worry about over salting this. Usually want to go a teaspoon and a half to every pound of meat that you have. This is pork. If I was just to cook this, no seasoning at all, it'd be very bland. We're trying to make sure we get some of that salt down to the center of this meat. I'm getting bones and everything else. Alright, let's flip it over, get the other side. Alright, this is going to get that bottom side. That's gonna be about it. So now, I'm gonna get this back on this cookie rack, and that's going into my fridge overnight. I'll bring you guys back tomorrow when I'm building my fire, getting ready to throw this on. Again, I'm probably gonna cut these off. I don't think it's holding it together. If I cut it off and I have some stuff falling off, I'll just go ahead and retie this back and add it to the video with my my own butcher's twine. Stay tuned. YouTube, we back. B Smokehouse back here with you. I'm going to get my rub together for this crown of pork. So we're going to start off with some black pepper. This is a restaurant cut. Can you see that? Too easy. I'm going to go, out of anything, it's going to be more pepper than anything. It's about right. Can you see that? Then I'm going to cap it off with a little granulated garlic. Now, I'm going with some MSG. I know we have salt. However, one of the things, again, about pork chicken can be really flavorless if you don't do what you need to do with it. And some people say stuff about MSG. I'm cool with it. I don't use it every day, but I use it as a flavor enhancer. This is parsley flakes. Okay, something like that. No real method to the madness. I'm just trying to make sure that we got flavor on the outside of this brisket. I say brisket, I'm sorry. Crown of pork. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I'm assuming maybe a little bit over an hour, hour and a half, maybe right at 2 hours. We're gonna cook this pork till it's 140 internal. Any higher, you're gonna risk drying this pork out. We're gonna go in with some oregano. About that much. Description of ingredients used will be down in the description below, right? I'm not sticking to any real recipe. And then now we got some basil that we're gonna put in here. So again, I'm doing what I like. You do what you like. About that much. About the same part, basil and oregano. Alright? Now, other than that, we're gonna get this shaken up. I'm gonna stir it up. Notice I didn't put, so I used MSG. MSG, the base of it is sodium, right? It's real peppery. That salt has, remember last night, we dry-brined this crown of pork, right? This rack of pork. Now, I debated whether I should French the bones. I'm not gonna do that because I'll be losing a lot of meat. I really don't want to. These will be sliced into chops, all right? And that's how we're looking. Like the way that looks, I'm gonna get my area cleaned up and I'll bring you guys back. All right, here's my crown of pork, rack of pork. As I was explaining to you guys last night when I was seasoning this up with salt, so the back portion of this, you'd find your baby backs, aka loin back ribs. Not a lot of fat to speak of, which is why I didn't do much cutting to this, or trimming to this. You can see this has very good marbling in there. I wanted to keep that marbling. I don't want to cut none of it off because again, loin meat is very lean, or can be very lean. So we're going to hit it with some avocado oil, just a little. We don't need much. You can see the salt has done its job. Salt has done its job. Excuse that noise, guys. That's my dog. I just have to give him a bath. He likes to go out and get real dirty and then roll around in the same place that he uses the bathroom, and it makes for an awful scent throughout my house. And, if I look back at him right now, he probably knows I'm talking about him. Alright, so we're going to get it flipped over, and then we're going to hit this side with the same thing, avocado oil. Don't need much. This is being used as a binder. That salt has done its job. You see the outside. It's kind of formed what is known as a pellicle, right? Get it rubbed down. Guys, I'm still working on my editing again. I have some friends who have YouTube channels and they do other forms of media, and they excel. This has taken me a bit to get used to, and sometimes I'll be just wanting to push stuff out, and I am learning. Now, give it the justice that it deserves, right? So now, excellent. Now we're going to start getting this bad boy seasoned up. Alright, here's my seasoning. We're going to season just from here. Alright, we're going to get the back of this first. So we got to keep this moving. Alright. Not really worried about making a mess. I'll come back and clean this up here shortly. Just want to make sure we get as much flavor on the outside of this pork as possible. We hit the backside of those rib bones. That looks good. This will set out at room temperature. It has been sitting out for the last 30 minutes or so. Knock the chill off of it, and that's fine. Let's get it stood up. I can go as heavy as I want with this because, again, the only real sodium content here besides what was put on that meat last night is that MSG. I'm using MSG here as a flavor booster. That's primarily what MSG is used for. Alright, now we're going to get this side. This is going to go on my stick burner. I am primarily, at the beginning of this cook, going to try to stay low. Nice, low and slow. I want to cold smoke if possible. But if I can't, I'm still going to run nice low temperature and then crank it up over time. Alright. Alright, so. Alright. Looks pretty good. That's good. And that meat is up on there. The seasoning's tacking up on there just how I want it. Right. Don't know that I'm going to sear this. I think we're still going to take it to 140. Those bones. Then I'm going to try and pick up some of this stuff that's I left on the counter. Alright. Now this is going to sit here. I'm going to get it back on the rack. It's going to sit here. And then I'm going to get a fire started. And we're going to get it on. You'll also be seeing got some I got to start back meal prepping. So I usually go and get a pack for the week. So I think this pack has 7 to 8 chicken breasts. It was about $8, $9. They've been seasoned up. I set them back in my refrigerator, and you're gonna see me toss those on as well. Stay tuned. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting this on. Let me show you guys what we got. So the first 30 to 45 minutes of this cook will be a cold smoke. Now I've got a small bed of Kingsford blueback charcoal, right, and a big dense punky log, right. You see it's catching flames. I'm getting ready to put those flames out, and we're gonna go from there. The first portion of this smoke for about 45 minutes to an hour is going to be this pork loin roast in the smoke, right? Not looking to cook it through right now. Want to have, as you can see, our temperatures are about at 150. I'm going to try and keep that as low as possible. Let's open her up. If you guys can see, right in there is that pork loin. Haven't done anything else to it besides hit it with that good seasoning. We're going to let it sit in here for the next hour or so, build up a nice smoke flavor, and then we're going to start actually cooking it, getting up to temp. I suppose I'm going to run between 225, 250, 275. It is a bit of a hot day today. I have a problem with this pit keeping my temps down on hot days. We're going to see what she wants to do, and that's where we're going to let her run. Stay tuned. Let's see where we're at. As you can see, I've been able to get that temp down below 150. Typically, you want to be around 120 or a bit lower. Right, so let's see where we're at. Nice smoky environment. I did come back and I put some ice in my water pan. This is garlic I got for some garlic mashed potatoes. I like that smoke. I like that color that's coming through. We're going to go ahead and get this fire bumped up so I can go ahead and get this cooked through. Again, we're going to 140. I'm also going to go ahead and put my chicken breast on here. I might go ahead and put this up here because I wanted to get some deep darker colors. I want it to look like it's cooked. I don't want it to be raw. Alright, look raw. Stay tuned. Alright, let's see where we're at on this pork roast. We are about at 135. You can see I went ahead and put a probe in. We got some good color. Some of that fat is starting to render. I am going to let this hit 140, pull it off. I might slice and then sear each chop. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. Of course, you can see my meal prepping chicken breasts. We're gonna let these roll on. Here shortly, my alarm should be going off. Stay tuned. YouTube, we back. We're back here with the finished product. Let's recap what we did before I cut into this, my pork crown roast. So I bought a pork crown roast from my local grocery store. I brought it home. Not too much preparation to do to it. I did not French the bones. I did not cut any fat off. Again, I've reminded you guys throughout this video that this is a pork loin crown roast. If you didn't know, baby back ribs, aka pork loin ribs, they come from a portion of this. You can see exactly what I'm talking about when I get ready to cut this. So there was a bit of fat on here, nothing hard. Everything I felt which would add purpose, add flavor to this roast, so I did not remove it. I salted it down last night, put it in the fridge. It's set in the fridge for about 12 to 13 hours. Took it out, let it come to room temp. I hit it with some olive oil, and then I went on with my seasonings, which will be down in the description. Now, there's Few different ways I could have did this. One of the ways that I'm thinking now, I probably should have prepared a glaze. Sometimes when you're doing these larger cuts, sometimes the outside doesn't look as appealing as it should be. I'm okay with that because I know the flavor is there. The salt has been driven down into the core of this meat, so it's going to be absolutely delicious. So after I went ahead and hit it with olive oil and I hit it with my seasonings, I put it on my smoker, and we got a cold smoke out of it. I had a very small coal bed with a large piece of dense wood. In this case, the first piece of wood I used was hickory. After about 45 minutes to an hour, I then bumped up my temperatures. While cold smoking, my temperatures did not exceed 150. A true cold smoke, you don't want to be exceeding 120. I also noted to you guys that this pit, especially when it's hot outside, because it's so small, it's really hard to maintain those lower temperatures. I did put some ice in my water pan, then try and help keep those temperatures down. It did what it could for a while, for at least 30 to 35 minutes. After the cold smoke, again, I bumped those temperatures up. We got up to about 250, right? I kept it around between 225 and 250, did not exceed that. And then I put a probe in it. For this cook, I used my ThermoPro, and I was shooting for a temperature of 140. That took about right at 2 hours, all right? It's pretty late, it's dark outside now. This has been setting on my counter, lightly tinted with some foil. You see it here. And it has went up. I think the highest it got, I took it off at 140. The highest it went up was like 146, 147. So I'm going to go ahead and get this off this cookie sheet. Go ahead and cut me up some chops. And we're going to get to eat because I got some plates to make. I got some kids that got to go to school tomorrow morning, and it's rather late. All right. All right, let's get to cutting this open. Now, I do know, so this backside would be where your baby backs come from. Now, these will have knuckles. Let's see if I can get through this without stalling the video. Let's see what we look like. Just one chop. Smells absolutely delicious. I like that. One chop. Meat's definitely done. It's still juicy because I took it off at 140. You can absolutely go past 140. However, then you're getting into dry out territory for pork. It went up to 145. 145 for pork is considered mid-rare. A knuckle. See if I can get through that. Let's see. All right. So this will bloom out. The color that you're seeing, it is done. Tell that it's done, but it's absolutely juicy. All right, I'll be back with you guys so you guys can see what I see. And but I got to get my closing out shots. I'll bring you right back. All right, let me bring you guys in so you can see what I see. Do you see that? You see these juices coming off of there? Everything's still moist. It is completely done. Again, this is pork. Had I taken it past that 140, in my estimation and in my experience, we would be talking about something much different because I'll probably still be chewing. Look at that. Look at the caramelization we was able to get. All right. Okay. So here, let me get one of these chops off. We're going to try it for the camera. I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. All right. All right, look at that. Can you see that? Meat's tender, still warm, highly moist. Can you see that? It's got juice coming out of it for days. Love it. I'm gonna dip it back into this pan sauce. Board sauce, I'm sorry. Let's give it a try. It's smoky, very tender, highly flavorful. That salt made it to the center of the meat. It's got a nice background smoke to it. The char from the outside, you get a bit of that. This really reminds me of baby back ribs. It's pretty good. Here, let's get one more for the can. And again, 140 leaves pork still pink. You know, I'm not gonna sit up here, you know, we can have a 3-month-long debate argument whether it's done or not. By USDA standards, it is done at 140. You can take yours up 150, 160, 170, 200 if you want. However, I can tell you the further up there you take it towards 200, either we're getting to pulling territory or we're getting into dry out territory. Absolutely delicious. Now, for my kids, I'm probably going to put some of these chops on my griddle over here and let them eat them that way. They don't like when their meat, you know, has this much moisture coming from it. Everybody thinks this is blood. It's not. It's myoglobin. This is done. If you have not done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I value the feedback and the input that you guys give to me on each video. I also notice I get a lot of passerbys through my channel. Doesn't cost nothing. Hit that like button. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until the next video, B Smokehouse out.